Hey, true seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Somebody sent me this image yesterday. That somebody was Jeff Young. Jeff Young said, "Hey, check this out, Zach. I found a picture of Miley Cyrus in the Star of David." And I asked him, I said, "When's that photo from?" And he said, "I think it's pretty recent." So I decided to look up the photo, when she wore this. I want to share with you all that is here. Miley Cyrus wearing the Star of David, on the date she wore it. We'll get to that. And then beyond that, we're going to talk about what all is encoded in the symbol, the Star of David, from the geometry of it to the gematria of it. The gematria, meaning the numbers coded into the name Star of David. This is going to be a very interesting post. Please have your listening ears on. If you got paper and a pencil, please take notes. When you jot this stuff down, when you write it out yourself, it becomes more powerful. It becomes more meaningful. Your mind will remember it better. And this is information everyone should know. Here in the United States, people don't realize this isn't a sovereign nation. The United States of America has never been a sovereign nation. It has always been owned and operated. If you've ever heard that George Carlin skit about how the U.S. has owners, he didn't come out and say who the owners were, but I'm going to tell you right now. The owners are the Zionist Jewish bankers who are tyrants. This nation, from the beginning, has been created, financed by Jewish bankers. Undeniable. Look up your history. It's all true. Who's responsible for slavery in this nation? You know, they like to say rich white men, but who's really responsible for slavery in this nation are Zionist Jewish bankers who came over from Europe, who'd done the same things over there before they came over here to the Americas. So from the beginning of the country up to the present, it's been under Jewish control. The word Jewish in gematria sums to 74, and understand that gematria is a Jewish practice. Jewish equals 74, Masonic 74, occult 74, English 74, gematria 74, holiday 74, Independence Day 74. The U.S., what's our birthday? 7/4, July 4th. When you learn the language of gematria, you see how our entire history has been rolled out by the numbers. And if we fast forward to the World Wars, World War I, if you don't know, the Federal Reserve was created in December of 1913. And right after that, the United States joined World War I, fighting against Germany on behalf of the United Kingdom. And a lot of people don't know this, but at the beginning of World War I, the people of the United States supported Germany in the World War. The U.S. was not involved for the first years of the war. The people of the nation supported Germany. A lot of German immigrants here, a lot of anti-UK sentiment. So how did the U.S. end up entering the war on behalf of the UK? Understand, the United Kingdom, never a sovereign nation either. It's all part of an ongoing agenda that's all run by Jewish Zionist bankers. At the beginning of World War I, one of the most powerful Jewish Zionist bankers, Sir Lord Rothschild, he wrote something called the Balfour Declaration. And it was about getting the United States to fight in the World War on behalf of the United Kingdom against Germany. And he said if the U.S. government would make this agreement to fight with the United Kingdom, the Zionist state of Israel would be delivered. It would be created. So you have to ask yourself, why would the United States be willing to go against its own people who live there to fight on the opposite side of the war to create a Jewish Zionist state? The answer is, it doesn't matter what the will of the people is. It never has in this country. All that matters are the people who truly run this nation, which are the bankers, the industrialists, who have politicians that are nothing more than puppets to these people, duping the masses. It's been the beginning from the start of the country up to the present. We all know our politicians are puppets and sellouts. Who they serve are the Jewish Zionists, the Freemasons at the top. So World War I, the Balfour Declaration was agreed to. This plan to create the Zionist state was agreed to. The people who own the papers in the United States, which are the same bankers and industrialists, what they started doing was taking advantage of the Christian population to change their mindset for who they wanted to fight for in the war. They said in their papers, Kaiser Wilhelm, who was the leader of Germany in World War I, was the Antichrist. Every U.S. major paper began printing this for front page news for months, that the U.S. should join the war on behalf of the United Kingdom because the Antichrist was the leader of Germany. So the Christians, they said, oh my God, the Antichrist is the leader of Germany. I want to go fight in that war. And lo and behold, people signed up to go fight against who they previously supported. That shows you the power of news and media, the power it has to change minds, steer agenda, steer populations. So World War I happened. The agenda didn't roll out far enough. They weren't able to get their Zionist state. But what a lot of people don't realize is that, Britain in the time of the World War went down there, started carving up their territory, planting their seeds. So we all know what happened. Here in the United States, they don't teach us about World War I because it would be too confusing. You'd have to explain how the U.S. was against the United Kingdom, but then they went in the war and fought for him because the papers said, that Kaiser Wilhelm was the Antichrist, and here's Sir Lord Rothschild had written this Balfour Declaration promising the Zionist state of Israel. They leave all that out. They just scrap it all, and here in the U.S., they start with World War II and the most evil man to ever live, Adolf Hitler, who said we need to clear out these banker tyrants that are destroying this world, creating horrible culture, horrible values, exploiting people. If you go back and listen to the speeches that Hitler gave about what the Jewish bankers were doing worldwide, it's undeniable. He spoke the complete truth. Understand that Hitler was a puppet that was used. Germany was dead broke. The only reason it was able to build up an army as it did was because the same Jewish bankers invested in him and his country and built up the army. The Zionists, they don't care about anyone. They don't care about the authentic Jewish people who are good in nature. They don't care about anyone. They care about their agenda, staying in power, control. They sold out their own Jewish people for part of their agenda of world domination. Temporary loss for a long-term gain. So that's where we pick up World War II with the evil Hitler, exterminating the Jews. For the record, there was no Holocaust, there were no gassing chambers, none of this happened. All of this Hollywood movies, it's bullshit. It's false propaganda. Look at who runs Hollywood, Jewish people. Look at who runs your media, Jewish people. Look at who runs the recording industry, Jewish people. It is undeniable. It is a Jewish monopoly. A Jewish Zionist monopoly. So, we get the story. World War II, Hitler, and then, because of that, this Jewish state, which is all bullshit. The Jewish state was agreed to at the start of the World War, the First World War, decades before. So, the First World War, the United States joined right after the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, the central bank that's separate from the government, that taxes the government, charges the government massive interest, and makes a lot of money off war and loans. The U.S. dollar bill, which has been printed the same way since 1913, the star pattern in the back right corner, which we'll talk about more. A lot of you probably know it in your head, that little star pattern made out of smaller stars. It's in the symbol of the Star of David, and that's not a coincidence. Again, Jewish banker tyrants created this nation. They've been running it ever since. Their Federal Reserve, where they print their money, they put their star on it, and think about how that symbol on the dollar bill predates the nation of Israel. This is all part of an agenda, planned out over the years, and we're living it out. We're deep in the game. The New World Order is an old world order. It is a Zionist Jewish world order. People want to say Zionism's a newer term. Bullshit. Read the Bible. It's all about fulfilling the prophecy of Zion. Zionism is old. It's thousands of years old. Deep in the game. So anyway, this symbol, it represents the Zionist Jews. It is a complete lie. It's really called the Seal of Solomon. Let's get to why they've called it the Star of David, what the geometry of this symbol represents, what the gematria of Star of David represents. Very interesting. Miley Cyrus wore this on the date October 19th, 2015 for James Franco's bar mitzvah, a Jewish celebration. Look at this. October 19th, 2015, the day she did this. Let me zoom that in case you can't see it. Date of this event, that was a date with 64 numerology. 64, very important to the Zionist Jews. Look at this. Zion equals 64. Israel is Zion. Israel equals 64. There's an occult religion called Thelema that worships the number 93. Israel was drawn up on 9/3, September 3rd. Everything about Israel's history is coded around the number 93, which represents Saturn, the keeper of time. The occult religion Thelema, its motto is "Do what thou wilt," which equals 64. In the Bible, in Revelation, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. Their name is the Synagogue of Satan. Synagogue of Satan is 64. Israel is the false Jewish state. In the Talmud, it says that 6 million Jews have to die for them to claim their holy state. That's why they falsified the lie that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. That never happened. It is completely false. There were Jewish prison camps, just like there were Japanese prison camps in the United States. There was no gassing. There was no murder. The only recorded deaths of Jewish people in World War II are from starvation and scurvy, which is the exact same for the only reported deaths in U.S. in Japanese internment camps. Starvation and scurvy. There are no other recorded deaths anywhere for deaths of Jewish people in Nazi prison camps. Understand that. Complete lie. All made up at the Nuremberg trials, which equals 93, not by coincidence. You know, recall just months ago, on the day that left 93 days left in the year, all the world leaders met in Israel for the death of their former president, Shimon Peres, who died at age 93. They had his funeral on September 30th, another 9/3. So anyway, Thelema worships 93. Thelema, Israel, Zion, all of this stuff is related. Think about the 64 spaces on a checkerboard, a chessboard. You know, this is the gang that's playing chess with the world by the numbers. These numbers are symbolic to these people. So this date, October 19th, it's written 10/19 in the US, 1019. Zero doesn't count in numerology, so that number is pretty much like 119. Look at this. Star of David, 119. All-Seeing Eye, 119. Master Plan, 119. On our dollar bill, the Star of David and the All-Seeing Eye. Very important number. Very important number. Think about September 11th, written as 11/9 in most parts of the world. She's wearing the Star of David on October 19th. There's more, so much more. I want to point out that Miley's birthday is November 23rd. That's the day that leaves 38 days left in the year. 38 days left in the year on her birthday. The word Jew equals 38, so does the word Jewish in Pythagorean gematria. I've done a lot of recent work on the fire in Tennessee, the story about the lone surviving Bible page, verse Joel 1:19, about the wildfire in Israel, which began the same day, November 23rd, as the wildfire in Tennessee. Dolly Parton supposedly found, or Dolly Parton didn't find it, but on her ranch, supposedly one page of the Bible survived this horrible fire in Tennessee. It was the page from Joel, the book of Joel. It was Joel 1:19, the verse about a wildfire in Israel. We'll talk more about that, but anyway, the same day that that Bible page was found on Dolly Parton's ranch, Dolly Parton was on The Voice singing Jolene, Book of Joel, Jolene. She was singing it with Miley Cyrus. And look at Miley Cyrus's birthday, the same day the fire began. And lo and behold, Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus. So anyway, we'll talk more about that fire. If you missed the videos I did on Dolly Parton, I was talking about the Star of David, the symbolism of the event, the connection to Israel. Over time, it's the same thing again and again. Celebrities being used in rituals by the numbers. Anyway, let's get back to Miley Cyrus, the Star of David. Check this out. The initials MC for Miley Cyrus in Jewish gematria sum to 33, in English gematria at 96. The word Freemason equals 96. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. Add them together, 96. MC also sums to 16. It connects back to 33. The Zionist nation of Israel, which has the Star of David, was created November 29th, 1947, with a 33-member vote by the United Nations. And the United Nations symbol is broken into 33 parts. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1. 4 times 8, 32, plus one more, 33. The United Nations, with a 33-member vote, created Israel November 29th, 1947. That's the 333rd day of the year. To the Freemasons also, they have something called Euclid's 47th problem, which is about establishing foundation. Here's this Jewish nation, a foundation in 47. The word foundation in gematria is 47. The word framework, 47. Authority, 47. Obey, 47. On this same day in 2016, November 29th, 2016, that's the day that Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton were singing Jolene, you know? Tribute to Israel, the whole thing. The book of Joel is a very short book in the Old Testament, which the Jewish faith goes by, and it's about God's wrath for Israel. So we're talking about 33, Miley Cyrus, the Star of David. When you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. The word flag has gematria of 156. So does the word God. Look at the symbol, the Star of David. It is 2 3-sided triangles overlapping. So 3 and 3. It represents the motto, as above, so below, which we'll get to. The Zionist Jews, the synagogue of Satan, they've made everything in this world about sex and money. And I want to point out that the word dollar has matching gematria with the word God. Notice how the word sex breaks down in gematria. You know, you have Miley Cyrus, this young sex symbol wearing the Star of David. Look at this. S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 becomes 10. 1 plus 0 becomes 1. E is the 5th letter. X is the 24th letter. 2 plus 4 becomes 6. So SEX breaks down to 156. 156. Connecting to 33. Connecting to flag. Connecting to God. And so much more as we're going to get into. So I'm just trying to establish. These are significant numbers, interrelated numbers. Numbers that represent things that are powerful in this world. Money, God, sex. Think about the power of all 3 of those words, you know? There's only 2 numbers when written out that sum to 156. One is 33, the other is 28. And 28 also connects to Israel. 28 is a perfect number. That means the divisors of 28, the numbers that divide into it, add together to sum to 28. 1, 2, 4, 7, 14. Added up, sums to 28. Something interesting. With regards to 33, the 33rd day of the year is February 2nd. It's the only day when you write out his words that sums to 156. That's Groundhog's Day, the 33rd day of the year. MC Miley Cyrus 33. So now the piece about Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is in Israel. In the book of Enoch, this is supposedly where the fallen angels arrive, known as the Watchers. And they're very much related with the synagogue of Satan, the false Jews ruling in the end times. Mount Hermon is in Israel. All of these things are intertwined and interrelated, all part of the biblical prophecy. So notice, Mount Hermon in Gematria sums to 156. So does the motto, as above, so below. And let's go back and look at the symbol, the Star of David, pointing up, pointing down. As above, so below. The fallen angels were supposedly cast from heaven. I want to point out that the word heaven has Gematria 55, just like the word Satan. The synagogue of Satan, the false Jews said to rule in the end times. Here it is, Zionist Israel, the home of the false Jews, who have the Star of David as their symbol, a symbol that encompasses the connection to 156 through 33, through as above, so below. Again, Gematria is a Jewish practice, and it is undeniable that the English language was created by Jewish Freemasons. Again, English equals 74, Gematria 74, Masonic 74, Jewish 74. God saves Israel equals 156. Just like, 33, bringing us back to the Star of David. Biblical prophecy equals 156. Biblical prophecy all goes back to Zion, the Jewish people. The reason it says the false Jews will rule in the end times is because the false Jews wrote the Bible. It's undeniable. It's undeniable that the Bible as we know it was edited, written by this gang, foretelling what their plans were. When you write out 666, it sums to 156. 666 also connects to prophecy. Prophecy 666. Look at the Star of David. 6 points, 6 triangles around the outside, and 6-sided figure right in the middle. 666, number of prophecy. Prophecy using the alphabetic order sums to 106. The date Israel was recognized with a 33-member vote was November 29th, 1947, a date with 106 numerology. Again, prophecy equals 106. So does the word destroy. Israel, the synagogue of Satan. They've been bringing about destruction all over this world to fulfill their prophecy. World wars, the loss of millions of lives, all for this false Jewish agenda that the world is too cowardly to stand against, which couldn't be any more obvious. Notice the word watcher sums to 33. That was the class of the fallen angels that supposedly came to Mount Hermon. 33 sums to 156. Mount Hermon sums to 156. Watcher equals 33. With regards to the term fallen angel, in Gematria, that sums to 89. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number following 55. Remember, Satan's 55. Synagogue of Satan, fallen angels. It's all related. Star of David, the definition, a 6-pointed figure consisting of 2 interlaced equilateral triangles used as a Jewish and Israeli symbol. With regards to it being a star, the Star of David, star equals 58, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58. In Revelation, it talks about the city of Philadelphia. And in regards to Philadelphia, it talks about the key of David, about bringing about prophecy. Think about how in the U.S., the original capital was Philadelphia, and how the U.S. has been instrumental in bringing about the Jewish prophecy of Israel. The U.S., the Zionist nation. Without the U.S., there'd be no Israel. It's like the gang had to go across the ocean to build up a war empire to come back and fulfill their plan. Anyway, star equals 58, like Freemasonry, like secret society. The Star of David, it also connects to Metatron's cube. And Metatron is the archangel of Judaism, known as the recording angel or the chancellor of heaven. So this is all related, all intertwined. Israel, the Jewish state, the Zionist state, Metatron's cube has the Star of David pattern within it. Do you make that out? The symbol also has a whole lot to do with 13, very important number to Freemasonry in the history of the U.S. USA equals 41. 41 is the 13th prime number, 13 stripes, 13 colonies. There's 2 recognized spellings of Metatron. This spelling, it has gematria of 122, like Elohim, the Jewish word for God. The other spelling, Metatron, gematria of 106, like prophecy, like the date Israel was recognized, with the 33-member vote on the 333rd day of the year. Here's that symbol again, See the Star of David within it? Here's the story of Metatron's cube, supposedly. Over 13 billion years ago, during what is referred to on Earth as the Big Bang, God gave birth to our universe, and it is this symbol of Metatron's cube that explains this birth. I'll point out that the word cube has gematria of 13. And the infinite expanding field of creation in all directions of time and space. Source energy through the field of Metatron's cube creates the potential field of creation, a field of high vibrational frequencies that ripple out through the creation, eventually creating color, then sound, and finally at their low levels of vibration, physical matter. So this symbol, Metatron's cube, which has the Star of David, it's all about creation. And earlier I was touching on the parallel between 6 and what's coded into the symbol. Or did I say 6? I meant sex. Sex. We were talking about 156. Think about sex and creation. Jesus Christ, so much imagery of him in the vesica Pisces, which looks a lot like our eye, also like a woman's vagina, where life enters the world. All of these symbols have meaning. They all connect back to creation. None of these numbers are arbitrary. Notice that Big Bang in gematria sums to 33, just like Genesis. Big Bang, the scientific explanation. Genesis, the spiritual explanation. Coming back to 33. Metatron's cube is composed of 13 spheres. This symbol also has much to do with light. Light is energy. Light is creation. Without light, there's no us. There's no existence. Isn't it interesting the phrase, let there be light, has gematria of 156? Our date of birth here in the U.S., again, a Jewish nation, July 4th, has gematria of 156. Again, 7/4, Jewish 74, Masonic, occult, English, gematria, Independence Day 74, and so much more. On our dollar bill, the word dollar has the same gematria as God. Remember, God also connects to 156 like flag. See the Star of David in the dollar pattern? The stars make the Star of David. Also the all-seeing eye. 13 layers of bricks. The motto above the all-seeing eye, Annuit Coeptis, meaning God favors our undertaking. Notice that annuit coeptus equals 58, like Freemasonry, like secret society, like star. If you draw the Star of David perfectly over this symbol, a geometric fit, the letters that get circled at the points are the A here, the S here, the N here, the M here, and this O. M-A-S-O-N. All of these points get touched. If you've never seen the Star of David drawn over that, pointing out that, notice that word spells Mason. The Star of David imprint touches those letters that spell Mason perfectly. That was something I learned long ago before I learned about gematria. So much coding, so much symbolism with these people. This gang who controls the entertainment industry, what do they always put out in their films and their music? What are they always promoting? Sex, violence, money. Again and again. Sex, violence, money. Sex, war, money. The Freemason symbol is the compass and square, and this G represents an awful lot of things. It represents 33 in Francis Bacon gematria. That's where lowercase a through z is 1 through 26. Uppercase A through Z is 27 through 52. Big G is 33. You got to wonder, does it stand for gematria? One of the things the Freemasons have kept a secret for many of years, pretty much until I came along and exposed what's going on in this world. The big G also represents 42. The word Freemasons, 42. The Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge, the invisible architects of society. They're builders. Are you seeing these words? Freemason, 42. Knowledge, 42. Economics, 42. History, 42. Architect, 42. Building, 42. Zionism, 42. Truth seeker. I'm going to show you guys this. You see my hands here. I'm not messing with my phone. My phone, I've never seen it do this before. Siri just came on and is recording my conversation. Can you guys see this? I don't even know how to do this. How is this happening right now? Oh my God. I don't even know what's up with that, Truth Seeker. The phone was locked. You have to punch in the code, do your thumb unlock. That is some weird stuff.
My web search turns something up for Hey Sammy's words. Freemason 42, knowledge 42, economics 42, history 42, architect.
Okay, sorry, I gotta stop that. I don't even know how that just happened. That is so weird. But just look at all these things. Zionism 42, World War 42, which gave way to the Zionist Nation of Israel, War 42, Math 42, the big G 42. There's even more, Truth Seeker. Sins 42, the original published Bibles were 42-line Bibles. The New Testament begins with 42 generations to Jesus. The beast rules for 42 months in Revelation. The word beast equals 47 like time. The year Israel was established, 1947. So I hope I'm explaining this clearly enough. It's a lot of information, but just look at how all of this comes back to 33, 156, 74, all of these numbers interrelated. So get this. Where's it at? On November 29th, Miley Cyrus, let's go look at that picture one more time. Miley Cyrus on November 29th teamed up with Dolly Parton on The Voice and sang Jolene, the hit song from 1974, 42 years ago. The word Joel sums to 42. The page from the book of Joel was found at Dolly Parton's ranch on November 29th, the anniversary of the recognition of Israel by the United Nations. They're singing Jolene on that same day. The book of Joel being found at Dolly Parton's ranch in Tennessee. Look at this. Joel equals 42, The Voice 42, where they were singing. Dolly Parton, just before the fire, had done a commercial with Smokey Bear. Dolly Parton's into New Ageism, by the way. New Ageism also has the 42 connection. This is the supposed Bible page found at Dolly Parton's ranch from the wildfire in Tennessee that broke out the same day the wildfire in Israel began. And the book of Joel is about God's wrath for Israel. Look at this. The most clear verse that can be read in this Bible page, supposedly recovered, is Joel 1:19. O Lord equals 64, like Israel. To thee will I cry, for the fire hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flame hath burned all the trees of the field. If this page wasn't burned off right here, this is about blowing your trumpet for Zion. And again, this whole book is from the Old Testament, which the Jews go by. The 39 books of the Old Testament. The United Nations in New York is 39 floors tall. Everything in New York's 39. New York equals 39. NY is 39. New York State of Establishment's 39. New rhymes with Jew. New York is Jew York. This is a Jewish nation. That's the cultural symbol of the United States, New York City. Look at this. This is the King James Bible that this verse comes from. This is verse 119 from the book of Joel. King James Bible 119. All Seeing Eyes, Star of David, Master Plan. Remember, Miley was wearing the Star of David on October 19th. October's the only month with 33 gematria. Look at Dolly Parton's birthday. Dolly Parton, born January 19th. This Bible verse found at her ranch, Joel 1:19. Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus, who was born on the same day the fire began. She's 24, the reflection of 42. She turned 24 that day. Again, that's the day that leaves 38 days left in the year. The word fire equals 38. The word Jew, 38. Jewish, 38. In history, Dolly Parton recorded the song in 1973. It came out in 1974. But look at the date they recorded Jolene. May 22nd, 1973. Even a date with 119 numerology. The same day she's at The Voice singing with Miley Cyrus, this news story's coming out about Joel 119 being found at her ranch. So I'll link the videos. I go into more detail on that. With regards to Dolly Parton, remember that the first cloned organism was supposedly a sheep named Dolly. Dolly the sheep was introduced on the 53rd day of the year. The word sheep equals 53. The word cloned equals 53. Dolly the sheep, the cloned sheep, revealed on the 53rd day of the year. This story of 119 biblical sheep being delivered to Israel. This story was written in the Times of Israel on December 6th, but look at this. Look at this, truth seeker. Where is it at here? Remember, Donald Trump was announced as the 45th president on November 9th, the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. They're calling Donald Trump the first Jewish president because his daughter's married into a Jewish family. Donald Trump said no one loves Israel more than him. Anyway, this story of the sheep arriving in Israel was November 30th, the day after Jolene was sung, with Dolly Parton, Dolly the sheep, Dolly Parton. This was the same day in history that supposedly Noah came off the ark. Isn't that something else, Truth Seeker? Isn't that something else? So anyway, I just want you to understand how important these symbols are, how they are evidence that this nation is ruled over by the Zionist Jews. Notice that the number 119, the sum of its divisors are 144. These biblical sheep, these 119 sheep, they supposedly came from Canada. 144, a number of revelation, a number of prophecy, which again comes back to Israel and Zion. Down in the description, I will link the videos I did on the Tennessee wildfire. Remember there was an Oakland fire right after that. The first survivor, supposedly his name was Joel. Look at the what they said that what's the word? The wildfire. It burned 119,000 acres, they tell us. This is the same wildfire in Tennessee that produced this from the book of Joel, Joel 1:19. O Lord. Same gematria as Israel. Isn't it just astounding, Truth Seeker? All of this is astounding, you know? Donald Trump being the president, being mocked the way we are. So I think that's it, Truth Seeker. I hope I explained it clearly enough. You know, it's a lot of information. If you need to listen again, please do. You know, this is the kind of information we all need to start sharing with our friends and family. We need to let people know what these Zionist Jews are up to, how throughout history they've killed our ancestors in needless wars to bring about their selfish prophecy. You know, here in the U.S., they use the media to pump the people up to believe in war and joining the military, and they don't realize that all they are is a mercenary force for the Zionist Jews and their ongoing New World Order, Jewish World Order agenda. You know? People are all pumped up on entertainment, celebrity, not tuned into truth and reality. Hope this video reaches some Miley Cyrus fans so they can know what they're really supporting. When you buy these albums, you're giving your money to this gang. When you go to the movies and you buy a movie ticket, you're giving your money to this gang. We need to stop supporting them. We need to stop pouring the money back into them. They use this money to enslave us. Money is a control tool of theirs. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.